Rise and Shine by Sandra D. Bricker, River North Fiction. Shannon, are you here? Shannon had been leaning down to place a tray of cranberry orange scones into the oven, and when she straightened again, Izzy screeched. You scared me half to death. Sorry. What are you doing in there? I'm making scones. Izzy cackled. Scones? Yeah, I found a recipe on the Food Network's website. They look really good. Are you serious? Yes. You're baking. Well, don't look so horrified, Shannon said with a chuckle. I went to the market this morning, and I've been cooking and baking ever since. She opened the refrigerator door and waved her arm with a flourish. Check me out. Izzy took 2 short little steps toward the refrigerator, her mouth gaping open and her brown eyes round as shiny quarters before she planted there and stared at the contents. Are you kidding me with this? Shannon looked inside in an effort to find what might have been so shocking a sight. The bottom 3 shelves were tightly stocked with tidy labeled Gladware containers. Spinach fandango, salmon with ginger glaze, chili relleno casserole, corn salsa. Izzy glanced around the room strangely. Am I being punked? What do you mean? You did not make all of this. Do you even know what corn salsa is? Of course I do. I just made it. It has cilantro and black beans and... Stop it, Izzy cried. What's really going on here? Shannon giggled. I don't know, Iz. I just like to cook. Since when? Since I woke up, I guess. It's crazy, right? Little bit, she replied with a spark of crazy all her own glinting in her eyes. Izzy tucked a hand on her hip and gazed at the smattering of Shannon's new techno toys across the dining room table, and she shook her head and clicked her tongue. Help me get some of these containers out to the freezer, will you? Shannon asked. It should be good and cold by now. What freezer? Out where? Oh, come and see. It was just delivered today. She piled Izzy's arms with as many containers as she could hold before taking on a load of her own and leading her friend out to the garage. Check it out. I give you Freezosaurus. Izzy remained silent while Shannon carefully lined up the containers on the shelves, adjusting them with precision so that the labels could be easily read. When she felt satisfied with the order of things, she closed the freezer door and turned toward her friend with a grin. Without any forewarning at all, Izzy grabbed Shannon and pulled her into an embrace so tight that an expelled groan rumbled out of her. What's going on with you, honey? Talk to me. I can't, she said, and Izzy pushed back, clutched both of Shannon's shoulders and contorted her face into an animated tragedy. Of course you can. Talk to me. No, I mean I couldn't. You were holding me so tight I couldn't breathe, much less talk to you. Izzy released her, reeled around, and puffed out an exasperated sigh as she went back inside, leaving Shannon standing there next to her beautiful new freezer. When she followed, Izzy had already reached the sofa in the living room and flopped down on it. Can I get you something? She asked her friend, just as the oven timer sounded. Ooh, my scones. How about some coffee to go with them? You don't drink coffee. Oh, I know, but suddenly I do. You want some? Izzy's mouth opened, but she didn't or couldn't reply. She just sat there staring at her. Okay, I'll be right back. While she poured the coffee and placed warm scones on a plate, Shannon mulled over Izzy's reactions. Surely she hadn't expected Shannon to wake up in a new decade and just remain stuck back in the old one. So she'd changed a little. So she'd developed a new appreciation for interesting cuisine and a taste for strong coffee. Did that make her defective in some way? She drizzled honey over 2 scones and dusted them lightly with cinnamon, twirling the plate as she did to make sure they lined up just the way. Shannon froze into a sudden statue, her own thoughts shimmying with ice crystals. Is? Yeah. She set down the cinnamon and backed up until her fanny touched the edge of the sink behind her. Yeah, Izzy repeated. Have I had a psychotic break? She waited for a reply. A few seconds more. Finally, Izzy stepped up to the counter and leaned against it. I'm not sure. Shannon turned around, looking at her friend through a haze of stunned panic. Do I need to call someone or check myself into Betty Crocker rehab for coma patients? If they had one of those, I'd drive you myself. Barely missing a beat, Izzy shifted gears. Hold on just one hot second now. These are your scones? Shannon chuckled as Izzy floated around the counter, seemingly led by her nose, until she hovered over the plate and breathed in so hard that she almost expected one of the scones to levitate straight to her friend's mouth. Honey, whatever you've caught, I don't think you should really be too hasty about searching for a cure.